This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of August 8th, 2022. Change is a given, and now more so than ever. The beginning of the month set off a long-running chain reaction of instability, of disruption, of surprises, of jolts, of turns of events that move us from one way of doing things to another. We're in that gauntlet of chaotic possibilities this week, and in fact, we're in it for a couple of months because the touchstone in the sky is quick change artist Uranus, bringer of the unexpected, alternate viewpoints, lobber of lightning bolts, unlocker of locks, great awakener, radical disruptor. He's got lots of names. Is basically parked at 18 degrees Taurus. This is where he met with Mars in the North Node at the beginning of the month and set off this chain reaction that is just going to unspool and unspool and unspool. This week brings 3 events that grow out of that. The first is shaking up our own concepts of ourselves, having to deal with a lot of personal ramifications of things that were set loose last week. The Sun is squaring Uranus on the 11th. The upside of this is that we get to change. We get to reinvent ourselves, rearrange some things in our lives as a consequence. And one of those may be our social structures, our community, our place in the greater scheme of things, the tribe or pack that we run with, which is up for reevaluation at the Aquarius full moon, which Uranus rules. That's on the 12th, and it pretty much demands assessment and change. It brings both a heaviness and an awareness of obligations, a desire to commit with Saturn on top of the moon, and also the need to shake off or get out of what isn't right or what doesn't fit with Uranus squaring the moon. By the end of the weekend, our minds are processing this. Our minds, our information flow, our conversations are weaving this new order of things, all of the emotional reactions and realizations that we've had into our perspectives with Mercury in a trine to Uranus. That is likely to free us from previous ways of thinking, previous perspectives, and help us see how current situations are working out for something that will be better, especially in the long run. Essentially, the week boils down to our identities and mission, our hearts and social groups, and then our minds getting on board with the shakeups, the surprises, the plot twists, the chaos, the new way of things that is emerging. There are plenty of additional textures in this. It's an incredibly active week. So while this is going on, we get a taste of the gap between the surface realities of our desires and relationships and the deeper longings that, for whatever reason, feel unfulfilled. A Venus-Pluto opposition on the 9th brings a lot of stuff to the surface that we don't ordinarily want to look at or definitely do not want to be shared out with anyone else. So it's kind of a dirty linen moment. It has the potential to help us become aware of big, dark forces that have been operating below the surface of our psyches and below the surface of outer machinations. So we get a glimpse of bigger forces, not entirely rational forces, not entirely controllable forces that are at work. Even if we can't put what we see or experience into words, the exercise does empower us. It does change the way we go about things. By the 14th, Mars trines Pluto, and highly targeted action is possible because both planets are in Earth signs whatever transpires very likely involves something tangible, practical, concrete. Restructuring something financially is very likely with this. Cutting out something that doesn't work anymore, doing something bold, doing something that acts on, furthers, protects your own resources, your own position, your own value, all very likely. Since this peaks a couple of days after the Aquarius full moon, it is probable that the social group reshuffling that comes out of the full moon will see people taking a stand for their own worth and easily and unapologetically cutting out the stuff that doesn't appreciate or value them. And from a more positive perspective, investing energy and resources into shoring up the infrastructure that actually really supports. Does it sound scary? Does it sound like a lot of work? Well, it might not be, because in the middle of this, our social mode changes from let me make you a cup of soup or hand you a jelly donut or kiss it and make it better to I am me, here I am, you're so lucky I am in your midst. Let's all shine, Leo. Venus moves into the sign of Leo on the 11th. She does very, very well here. This sign thrives on attention. It's time to dress up. If you're going to the store, don't just slob out. Take care with your appearance. It will make an enormous difference in your experience of the day. This is a time for being seen, being noticed, being comfortable with who you are, showing it, treating the world as your own stage and just strutting through it. And the sparkle, shine, warm-heartedness all radiate out to other people, and everyone just seems to be having more fun. Now, there is a potential jealous God side to this of, I want to be the queen bee, pay attention to me, you should be looking at me. But Venus and Leo can also be phenomenally generous and share the spotlight and be beneficent and help other people to shine because, you know, when the lighting's good for everybody, it's just a lot more fun. And one person showing their own spark can inspire other people, and it can spread and spread and spread and spread. So go for the grandeur, enjoy yourself, dress up, sashay. And if someone doesn't like it, maybe they don't belong in your audience. It'll be easy to usher them out or walk to a different part of the stage. Homing thought of the week. I allow myself to shine. Song of the week, Winds of Change by Scorpions, who, by the way, are still touring. And the image of the week is rearranging the players in a ball game. You'll find more about this in my forecast for the month of August, which is up at my site, empowermentunlimited.net. The Aquarius full moon forecast will be up by Wednesday. Also at my site, you can sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. I host the show Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio at 5 p.m. Eastern on the first and third Mondays of the month. I also host lively conversation on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited and the group The Astro-Insight Lounge. I have lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, including information about the upcoming long transit of Mars in Gemini, including his retrograde. And I'm deeply grateful to the people who support my work there. I'm on Instagram at @KABiehl and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian channel. Talk to you next week.